All right, folks, good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, depending on where you're joining us. This is Jeremy Grandstaff coming to you with coffeewithjeremy.tv. We're so excited to be back. We did take a little bit of a summer vacation there for a little bit. Wanted to give you guys a break from us, and frankly, we needed a little break from you. Just kidding, just kidding. But I'm really excited to be here today. This is a little bit different approach to Coffee with Jeremy than what we normally have. As you know, Coffee with Jeremy is really about talking about collaboration, different ways that various clients and partners of S&G Endeavors are working to include collaboration as part of their work. And as I always say, collaboration comes in many forms. And so I'm really excited today to have Greg Spalding on with us. Greg is an affiliate for United Games and has been really working to launch a new app that's going to be working with United Games to launch a new app that's going to be coming out. And he's here to talk about how that app is going to allow people to be able to collaborate in different ways than I don't think that we thought were possible. And so, Greg, really happy to have you here with us. We're also joined today by Jim Klingenberg, who is one of my favorite people in the world, a fraternity brother of mine who is, I like to describe as a sports enthusiast, who I'm sure will have lots of questions for you, Greg, and even some feedback as you're going about bringing that app and launching that app and getting it launched later. So good to have you with us today as well, Jimmy. It's always fun when I can bring you on.
Oh, absolutely.
Excellent. Well, and good to have you here too, Greg. How you doing?
Good.
Excellent. Well, very good. It is possible we'll be joined by another guest later in the call, and we'll see if we can work him in. But if not, let's go ahead and get started with you, Greg. Tell me a little bit about your work in marketing and kind of getting this sports app launched. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay, I was contacted right around the 1st of June by another affiliate marketer, a friend of mine, and he sent me a 4-minute video that United had out, and I watched this, and I immediately, excuse me, saw the potential in what they were doing. And to give you a little background on United Games, United Games, it was founded by a man named Jeff Henderson. He's a 22-year veteran and former vice president at New Skin International. It's run by a great founding partner team, including CCO and game designer Mark Manji, who people might remember from Madden Football, CTO Ben Eggett, and sales marketing by Natalie Lewis. And that's it's basically how I got started in it. And marketing the app is what has been controlling me for the last couple of months.
All right. Well, what does the app do? Like, how does it work? What are they going to be doing? Help me understand a little bit more about the app and what it does.
Very, very good question. This is basically going to be the first sports app in history that a player is going to be able to play interactively live with a sporting event on TV, which will be starting off with the NFL and next moving to European soccer with baseball, basketball, NASCAR, even table tennis in Japan slated to be online. But it's a brand new technology that Mark Manji has brought to the table.
And so what exactly will players be doing, like during the game or before the game or after the game? How does that work? I'm kind of intrigued that they're getting to...
Right, you said the players, the actual players, like Kyrie Irving or LeBron James.
No, the player is yourself. The player is yourself. What you're going to do, this is an app. It's going to come out in approximately 3 weeks. You're going to be able to download the app. You're going to have the app on your phone. And you're going to be actively playing this app from your phone interactive with the game on TV.
So you
I'm a
actually
player, you're
will
a
play the game while they're playing the game.
That's correct. And let me see if I can
Okay.
get my
Okay.
if I can get my camera right.
It's a game. Then. Hello?
Correct.
Yeah, Jim, we hear
Are
you.
you able to see this?
Hold on just a second here. John, can you maybe zone in on Greg's camera for us?
Yeah,
and blow
it's on
that
there.
up?
Yep, it's on there. We can see it. If you want
Go
to
ahead,
describe
Greg.
it.
So if you can see this now, what the player is going to be doing before you're going to get a code before the game starts. Before the game starts, you're going to get a code to go in.
Hold on just 1 second, Greg. I'm so sorry for that interruption. We had a little bleed through there. Go ahead, Greg. Keep talking for us. My
You
apologies.
see on the left hand, you're going to do a pre-game.
Hold on just a minute, Greg. We are having trouble getting Greg. Is that on my side, John, or is that Greg's?
I believe that was Danny. And for some reason, the control room isn't allowing me to mute people. So I ejected him. So let's just keep going, and I'll message him and tell him to try to come back on mute.
Yeah, Greg, try talking again for me.
Okay, as you can see.
There you go.
Okay, on the left-hand side, I've got this up on a different computer. This is basically what the game is going to look like. You're going to be making some pre-game calls, which you'll see on the left-hand side. How many interceptions will Denver have? How many interceptions will Denver have in the entire game? How many fouls? So on and so on. And as the game is being played, you're going to have live play calling. Will the offense run a pass or a run on the next down? How many yards will Denver gain? Will the next one make a first down or not? Calls like that throughout the game.
Okay.
And what a player does at that point, what you're doing, this is not gambling. You are, as you're playing a game, you're building up achievement points depending how good you are. And building up achievement points will win you prizes such as hats, apparel, tickets to games, even cars.
So there's a lot of things you can win by doing this.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know, like other games, this game is played with tokens. And people ask me about this all the time when you say it's a free download and it's a free app to play. Here's how it works. Most of the time, people that play games, they know you're going to need a token to play. Well, in this game, there's 3 ways that you acquire tokens.
Can you show us the interface again, please?
Yes, hold on. Trying to get my phone working.
Sure.
There we go. Are you getting that?
Whoa. Hold on just 1 second for us, Greg. We've got something going on. A lot of background. I want to apologize to our viewers for the technical difficulties. Go ahead, Greg. I think you're good now.
Do you get that, John?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, like I was saying, when a player, there's 3 ways in this game that a player is going to be able to acquire a token. They will be able to literally buy a token, and most tokens, they usually run $1 is what they're telling me. A lot of the information has not been put out yet. We'll know more after the convention in July on the 26th. But as I was saying, the 3 ways to accumulate tokens as a player with this game. You will buy a token, or you can acquire a monthly prescription to the game where you get tokens at a discount. And the 3rd way, which is the way that I promote to all my players, it's what's called freemium play. And I'm sure a lot of people are are used to this. This is when you go on the game itself, and you will probably be allowed about 5 times within that game. What you do, you watch a 10-second advertisement, and you'll get a token. Now, with the changing world and the changing advertisements, what they're telling me now, this freemium play is going to change constantly, different ways you can do it. You know, there might be an advertisement, well, you buy this here and you get 2 tokens free, but most of the time it's going to be watching free advertisement to acquire tokens to play.
Okay. So I do want to ask a couple other questions about how you've developed your team. But Jimmy, do you
Yes.
have questions on? Sorry, I've gotten into the habit of calling you Jimmy K. My apologies. Anyway,
That's fine.
so do you want to? Do you have any questions for Greg about how the app works or anything like that?
Is it a head-to-head game? Am I playing against many other people, or can I play against just one person, or how does that work?
Good question. You can do whatever you want. Let's say you download, Jimmy, and
Right.
you are the host of the game. You have the capability, and if you were on my team, what I would prefer, you invite 1,000 people to play the game with you.
Right.
I would love it. But you can invite one person, or you can invite as many as you would like to play the game with you.
Oh,
For
I
instance,
have 100 people in mind already, so yeah.
very good. Let's say, for instance, I have a sports bar that is an affiliate of mine.
Right.
Okay? And it's in his best interest. He puts his code on his wall, and when all of his patrons come in to watch, let's say, the Bears game that Sunday, and he's got 50 gentlemen sitting at the bar,
Mm-hmm.
and they're all playing this game with each other.
Right.
The best idea is for those 50 players to go ahead and invite 5 players each. Now, that bar owner not only has 50 players playing the game at his bar, he's got 250 more. He's got 300 people playing at that bar.
Okay, so I understand that, but what if you have 50 players playing from this one bar, like you said, and then those people invite 5 people each? You know, like you said, the scenario that you said. How does the
I think
bar?
I know what you're going for.
How does the bar benefit from that?
That's going into the affiliate part of the program.
Okay. Okay.
That's not a player's point of view. As far as strictly a player's point of view, you as a player, okay, there's 2 things with United Game. There's a paid affiliate, like myself, and there's free players. Free
Right.
players, you're going to enjoy the game, new technology, and you have the ability to build up lifetime achievement points, okay, to win prizes. As far as players playing head-on-head, playing with other people, well, you're looking at bragging rights now, more than likely.
Mm-hmm. So,
Right, and the bar could promote this internally and keep a leaderboard, perhaps, or something.
Absolutely, there's so many things a sports bar can do with this app.
Sure. Good. Good
So-
deal.
I could very well go into how an affiliate works, but I think we could use that for a different time.
Oh, sure. That's another conversation.
So,
Right.
Greg, who are some of the teams that you're looking forward to following or playing for on the app?
By teams, what do you mean? By the teams I'm going to play with? You still there, Jeremy?
I think that's what he meant.
Yeah. Sorry, I was cutting out for just a second.
I think that is what he meant.
I'm a Browns fan. Even though I live in Chicago, I'm a Browns fan. Most of the time, if I'm playing interactively, it's going to be during the Browns game.
Well, nobody's perfect, Greg. Just kidding. I know I'm in the minority here. So
You are definitely in the minority. What about the cat? Can you play during basketball games as well?
Not at this moment, but that's
Okay.
coming up. And to give you a good scenario about how the game would work again, let's just say we'll go back a few months to the Cavaliers.
excuse me, just one second, Greg. I'm really sorry to interrupt you. John, you need to mute your line.
Oh, me?
Please.
Well, I had a question.
I understand. I was telling John he needed to mute because we couldn't understand what Greg was saying. Go ahead, Greg, with your answer.
Okay,
I apologize.
good circumstance because John brought up basketball, because basketball will be here during the next season with this. And a good way to describe the app, let's just say the Cavaliers are playing Golden State Warriors, and Stephen Curry happens to get fouled on shooting a three-pointer.
Mm-hmm.
What will happen when you have that small amount of time? It'll come across your.
Oh,
I think we just lost Greg. Greg, are you still there?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Did you hear that?
You were saying. So John, I'm really sorry. You have to mute because we're getting feedback every time you're off mute. So, Greg, you were saying that it would pop across when someone was fouled.
Yeah,
would
let's
pop
say
across.
Steve Curry got fouled on the three-point line. All of a sudden on your screen, it will pop up, will Steve Curry make 1, 2, or 3 points? That's another way how the game actively works inside the game.
Gotcha. Okay. Jimmy,
you're actually being a coach, Jeremy. With this game, a player playing this game is putting themselves in a coach's position.
Okay. So what, Jimmy, you said you had another question for Greg?
Yeah, he sort of touched on it. I was concerned about the live scoring aspect of it. So he brought up, that was a good example of it. He brought up if a guy gets fouled and then you look down at your phone and then you immediately have to make a split decision, on what's going to happen. Is the guy going to make 1 free throw, 2 free throws, 3 free throws? And then if you make the correct guess, then you get X amount of points, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's say I have to go to the bathroom and then I miss that opportunity to score there, right?
No.
That's a good question, Jeremy, and I don't have the answer yet. There's a lot of answers that we still don't have, but we will have after August 26th.
Ah, okay. And go ahead, Jimmy.
Well, I guess my question is how long are the games? Do you only play the length of one NBA game? Can you play multiple games at the same time? Are you trying to get to a certain point level? What's the end game? What's the ultimate goal? When you're scoring these things.
Once again, it's a question I can't answer.
Okay.
So I don't have any of these answers.
Yeah.
Let me explain one more time. Like I said, there is a kickoff event in Las Vegas on the 26th where the affiliates that are able to attend, they're going to get hands-on with the game. There's so much more information is going to be released.
Oh, sure.
This. And we're in the dark as much as you right now. And,
right.
This is basically all I can say. It's going to be a first of its kind with the technology.
It sounds fascinating.
So, Greg, you have been working to put your team together so far, it sounds like, from the briefing that I got. What are some of the successes that you've had, some success stories that you've had in putting your team together so far?
Well, I've had a lot of good response. Of course, normally when somebody goes on an adventure, the first people you're going to see are your family and friends. And I've had good response. And it's a lot of people, they're like Jim was now, well, how do you do this? How's it going to do this? And as far as the aspect of me as an affiliate and earning money, that's all going to come. And when you say success story, I was thinking about that today, and I think my success story is going to come after the game is launched. And I listened to a conference call today, and I really got some exciting news because last week I was trying to go after booster clubs, athletic fundraisers, to help the schools. And the way it was promoted right now was not the way to do it. And the news I got today, and of course, after the 26th of August, this is going to be coming out again. There is going to be a specific program set up just for fundraisers, booster clubs, high school football programs, high school sport programs. That, to me, is very exciting, and I can't wait to get a hold of that because I want to get a hold of every booster club and fundraiser that I can, because this is really going to be great for them.
Tell me a little bit more about that, Greg. Why are you excited to be engaging some of the small business communities or other groups? Like, what are some of your ideas around that? Maybe even how others can get involved in this as well.
Okay, I'm talking high school booster clubs. Let's go on a high school booster club. Okay, this app is anticipated, just as I'm sure people are familiar with Pokemon Go. This app is expected to go viral the day after it's released. Okay, so I mean, we have affiliates in 190 countries right now, getting ready to go. Let's just say I have a booster club here in my hometown that has 300 athletes on it. An event could be set up on a certain Sunday where the fundraiser itself would be the host. He invites the 300 students. Typically, on an average, a player will invite 5 people. That's an average. So if you have 300 students that have been invited to this game, and they all invite 5 people, well, now we got 1,500 people playing this app. Same thing if those 1,500 invited 5 people. You can see where this goes, the amount of people this would generate on one single game. Okay, and affiliates are paid on tokens acquired and on tokens paid percentage. So a host of this game would be paid a tremendous amount of money, depending on players.
Okay.
Jimmy?
Can I interject for a second?
Go ahead, Jimmy.
You're focusing a lot on the affiliate part of it, where it's going to be, where the money is going to come from. Is that what we? Oh, you know what? Never mind. I'm sorry, Jeremy.
So what Jimmy's trying to ask, I think, is, Greg, you're doing a really good job of explaining how the affiliate concept works. Why do I do this if I'm just a player?
Oh, exactly. I think that's what I was getting at. Thank you.
That's a good question. That's a good question. As a player itself, you, for the first time, you are going to be able to sit down. Let's say, and I have a family here in my town. There's a husband and wife that's got 4 kids. They're going to be able to sit down on a Sunday afternoon. And this gentleman was telling me they used to watch the Bears game back and forth. They would say, well, this guy's going to do this, going to do this. He would be jabbing with his kids. They would be chatting, and talking. You're now going to have technology to do this in a game, back and forth. It's going to have the capability where you can talk to different players. You're going to have the capability on this game to be able to chat during the game with past and present sports stars during the game. Let's say you're watching the Chicago Bears game. There are numbers and numbers and numbers of past and present stars that are affiliated with this that you are going to be able to chat with during the game.
Okay.
That would be fun.
I have a couple questions from the chat in YouTube from Ryan. So he wants to know, will more difficult predictions garner bigger rewards than simple predictions? Like, will it be a pass or a run versus, will the quarterback have 225 yards? So will bigger predictions garner bigger points?
Another good question, and another question I wish that I had the answer for, which we will know more after the 26th.
Okay. And how about, other than like individuals winning prizes, is there any other things that they receive as part of being a player?
Bragging rights.
Bragging rights, right. It seems like in the bar scenario that you mentioned before, it seems like that would certainly be something that would be great from the player's point of view.
Yeah.
And then I
have your name on the leaderboard at your local bar would be great.
I've also thought about this too, Jim. I do a lot of fantasy sports myself, and I've told a lot of the players that I play with in my leagues, I'm also waiting till the game comes out till we see exactly what it does and to see exactly how it works. One thing I do know for sure, that acquiring tokens is not going to give one player an advantage over another player during the game scenario. Everybody has the same advantage when they're playing the game. But
right.
I'm waiting till the game comes out, and I want to see how it goes. I would definitely like to start some fantasy leagues myself, just with the game.
I have another question back on that, or onto the game. If you don't want to do it during the actual live game, can you like preset a game with some questions, invite your 10 people that you want to play against, and just have them answer those questions and then look at it after the game? Do you know if that's an option, or is that another one where we kind of got to wait until we see what comes out?
That's everything we got to wait for, John. That's everything about this we got to wait for. But the main thing that I just want to stress to everybody, this is a game. This is for fun. This is not gambling. There's no money involved in this. This is to have fun with family and friends with a technology that's never been done before. With an app that you're going to play in real time with real sports.
I'm intrigued. Very intrigued.
All right. Well, we're getting close to the end of our time. John, did we get Danny on yet? I'm not seeing him from my side.
No. So let's just tell people how they can find out about the app and get in touch with Greg if they want more information.
That sounds great. So Greg, why don't you help us wrap up this piece by just telling us how they can go about finding out about the app, how they get a hold of you for more information, and then I'll wrap up the show.
Okay. Yeah. The one thing, what we're doing now, we are probably 1 to 2 weeks away from wrapping up acquiring affiliates for the company. We are concentrating now heavily on players. That's what we want, players. And I would love everybody, you want any information at all on this, because it really is going to be fantastic. You can contact me at G Spalding, that's Spalding 2004 at gmail.com, or text me at 815-674-0295. And if you've already made up your mind that you want to get the free download and be a free player, you can just text me at that number. Just text me your name, your email address, and your favorite team, and we'll get you registered and we'll get you in.
And we'll make sure that we get that information into the YouTube description so that people who decide to watch this afterwards, they're able to get that information as well. So, Greg, this is really very exciting. And as I said at the beginning of the call, I think collaboration comes in many fashions. And this is just a great example of how people are able to kind of come together and collaborate in a fun way and an exciting way that allows some people to join into that game process, the playing process. And as Jimmy was just talking about, that idea for the bragging rights, which we all know as sports enthusiasts, the bragging rights is par for that course. So
very important. It is.
Jeremy, may I ask one question?
Yeah, it is very important. You're right, Jimmy. Go ahead, Greg. You had a question?
Yeah, I would love for you to ask me back on this show once the app gets released and we start playing. And I think we're going to have a lot more answers for you.
I think that is a great idea. Try to see if we can make that happen.
And before then, Greg, you have to get either a webcam or you have to get a headset for your phone with a microphone so you can plug in and we can have your audio better.
Right.
I'm going to get a webcam.
I would recommend that.
Excellent. Well, listen, as always, it's exciting to have new guests on Coffee with Jeremy. It's exciting to talk about different potential ways to collaborate, and that's really what this show is about. So if you've got an idea for us on a topic that we should feature or collaboration that you're involved in, make sure you leave that in the comments, and we can definitely follow up with you. You can find all episodes of Coffee with Jeremy at coffeewithjeremy.tv, and you can check out all the different episodes that we've done. As always, a big thanks to you, Jimmy K, for joining us, and for Greg for you being here and talking about the app with us. It's just so exciting to have you both on, and I really appreciate that. You can also find, a big thanks to John from SG Media Group for coordinating today's call and running the logistical pieces. You can always, well, self-promotion has never been his challenge, and we can always find information about SG Media Group at sgmediagroup.com. And if you'd like to find out more about S&G services, S&G Endeavors, and the consulting services and collaboration services that we offer for our clients, I do encourage you to check out other episodes of Coffee with Jeremy or visit our website at sgendeavors.com. Again, Greg and Jimmy, thanks so much for taking the time. John, thanks for running logistics, and this concludes today's broadcast.
Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you.
Thank you.